Hey Joe, how you doing? You and three guards, Malcolm, Marcus, Derek, in that fourth quarter last game. I think they only played 25 minutes together as a trio during the year. What were you looking for from them in that spot, and what do you think you ultimately got from that group?
Just multiple ball handlers, multiple guys to play off the closeouts, playing faster. Just thought those three guys at that time were giving us, good energy. I thought it was a good lineup for us.
And when you don't have a big sample size for a group like that from the regular season, how tough is it to say, all right, I'm going to try this in a playoff setting?
It just depends on the game. Like, I felt like all 8 guys were pretty connected and locked in, and any lineup we had was going to give us what we need. Just thought those 3 guys, based on how Atlanta was guarding us, gave us, an opportunity to kind of be dynamic on the offensive end.
John, you intrigued to see how your team will react tonight to the first road game in the playoffs and the atmosphere?
Yeah, I'm just prepared. Have trust in them, and I think we'll come out. Also know I expect to get a big punch from Atlanta, and we've talked about how to manage games and how to understand that, and so it'll be interesting to see how we just perform throughout the game. I don't expect to do our way the whole game.
And then 2 days in between games, now it goes to every other day. How will that affect preparation?
We've been doing it most of the year, so it won't affect it that much at all.
Hey Coach, just in terms of rebounding with your team, I think I was looking at stats with the Hawks, like John Collins, Clint Capella, we're averaging around 7.5 rebounds per game through the first 2 games. That's not usual for them. What have you guys been able to do to really take advantage on the glass and kind of shut those guys down?
I think their offensive rebounding has given us some problems, but a lot of them has been like 3 or 4 on one possession, and last game they had 4 off block shots, and so I think we're making a conscious awareness of knowing where those guys are on the floor and doing a good job of trying to keep them off. I think Al's done a great job staying matched up with Capella and keeping him off the glass. So, we know they're going. We know it's an important part of their offense. We know they're going to get some, but I think we have a good awareness to where they are and boxing them out.
If ever you cited that possession where they had like 3 offensive rebounds and you still got to stop the end and Al flexed at the very end of that, if you look at those possessions as wins, even though you're still giving up those rebounds, you still get the stops over and over.
They're wins because we had the mindset to keep playing, but at the same time, we watch those a lot and say, this possession if it goes differently, here's how our mind has to adjust to it. Here's how it could go mad. Here's how it could have effect on the game. So our guys do a good job of understanding they executed, but at the same time, we have to work to prevent some of those.
How do you determine when you want to continue to kind of push on a possession like that, where they're frustrated but they got it done, versus kind of giving them a pass, not being too on top of it?
It's our guys. They have a lot of experience and a good understanding of the game, so they know, and they do a good job of holding themselves accountable. And so it's more about just getting a feel for kind of where they're at, and then, like I said, they know the possessions throughout the game. So we just try to figure out the ones where maybe they haven't been aware of, and we can talk about those, the transition 3 we gave up to Bay to start the game, the one we gave up to Collins when we weren't matched. So a couple of those possessions in the beginning of the game, we weren't overly aware to, so we talk about those.
Coach, what would you say have been some of the key elements for your defense in limiting Trae Young to just not having typical Trae Young type games? And flip side question to that, DeJounte has been able to score at a pretty high clip. What's the key to kind of minimizing him, or at least keeping him more under control?
Yeah, I think we're doing a good job keeping Trae Young off the free throw line, trying to defend without fouling. At the same time, I think he's a very, very dynamic player in the sense of we've taken away the transition 3s, the transition layups, the and-1s, the lobs to Capella. We've taken away those dynamic, emotional plays. So we have to work to continue that. And with Murray, we just have to continue to be physical with him and know he can score in isolation, he can score in pick and roll, he can score on drive. So just be a little bit more conscious of how he's scoring and work to take those away.
Joe, Danilo said he was in some of the team meetings for the series. Saw him in some of the huddles for shoot around. What kind of value has he been, given that he played for the Hawks last year, and just trying to involve him more in those conversations?
Yeah, more than the Hawks, he's just been around a lot of coaches, been on a lot of playoff series, so he has a good, just kind of feel for how series go. And small details that he can point out because he's been in locker rooms and he's played against these guys before. So, you know, he's been very valuable. Really appreciate his insight, his professionalism.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.